House committee releases Epstein emails mentioning President Trump.
The House is set to possibly end the longest shutdown in U.S. history.
And the Northern Lights reach North Texas and where you can see them best.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is NTTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining NTTV News at Noon. I'm Landry Brady.
And I'm Cameron Shields. Private emails between Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell, along with his author Michael Wolff, have revealed mentioning of Donald Trump over a 15-year span. These emails were a part of the 23,000 documents obtained from the Epstein estate, and in these emails, Trump is said to have been spending time with a woman described by the House committee as one of Epstein's trafficking victims. As only more pressure is put on Congress to disclose more information and a weeks-long delay, the 218th signature for a petition to force a House vote to compel the Justice Department to release all of the Epstein files is set to secure its last signature today.
The longest federal shutdown in U.S. history could be over within the next couple of days. For the first time in nearly 2 months, House lawmakers are gathering in Washington for floor votes in hope that the government will reopen. CNN's Amy Kiley has more on how this potential government reopening would impact SNAP benefits and air travel.
If the government reopens, how long will it take for things to get back to normal? Many are asking that question now that the shutdown appears close to ending. Today, the House is set to vote on a stopgap funding bill that's already through the Senate. The president is signaling he'd sign it. If that happens, officials say SNAP benefits could resume promptly.
It appears that we're on a glide path up in Washington where the SNAP benefits will be fully honored, hopefully by the end of this week.
That's likely a relief for the more than 40 million Americans who rely on SNAP for food.
I'm trying to do my best to shield my daughter from how concerned I am, but at the same time, she is seeing the difference in our cupboards. She's seeing the difference in her meals.
The timeline for air travel returning to normal is less certain. The FAA is still forcing flight cancellations due to air traffic controller shortages. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says they'd get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening. But
I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away.
Duffy says he'll rely on data to decide when the FAA can lift shutdown-related flight restrictions.
We're trying to manage risk in the system to make sure people fly and fly safely.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The House Rules Committee voted on party lines early Wednesday to advance the Senate-passed package to reopen the government. Prior to this vote, the committee rejected an amendment to extend enhanced health care subsidies for 3 years. This extension has been an important topic of discussion amongst Democrats during the time of the shutdown. Despite this, 8 Democrats went against the extension for the vote and voted for the compromise. The House is expected to vote on the bill today.
The Food and Drug Administration has named a new leader to its largest division after the previous head resigned abruptly last week. Dr. Richard Puzder is now the new leader of the Center for Drug Evaluation and Research. This branch of the FDA oversees the safety and regulation of most prescription drugs and over-the-counter medicines. Additionally, this branch also regulates products like toothpaste, sunscreen, and deodorant, as well as makes updates for recommendations for drug labeling. Puzder's first official day in this new position is today.
Landry, you know what I am grateful for this November?
Let me guess. NyQuil?
I was going to say the weather, but that is a factual statement.
Let's give it to our weather anchor, Alex Martinez, to see what Cameron is talking about. Alex?
Thanks, Landry. And yeah, I am too appreciative of NyQuil because it can help you fight a cold and also fight a hot fever. Now, over here, you can see our temperatures are kind of in the same sort of like hot, cold situation right now. It is 71 this morning. It's a warmer morning than what we've been seeing. Now, if you look at tonight's conditions, it's going to be cold. Same sort of hot, cold situation we got going on is going to be 68 and it's going to feel like 68 tonight. It's going to be a nice and cool evening. Now, tomorrow morning is going to be very interesting because of the fact that it will be 56 in the early morning, but as the day goes on, it will start to warm up to the 80s into late afternoon. That's all for me right now, but stay tuned for the full weather breakdown. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks so much, Alex. If you went outside last night and looked up at the sky, there is a good chance you might have seen something out of the ordinary. This is because the northern lights can be seen at night across many parts of the U.S. this week. Space weather forecasters confirm that solar storms reached severe levels, triggering vibrant northern lights across Europe, which caused hues of color to be seen as far south as Kansas, Colorado, and even here in Texas. If you missed it, this rare event will be happening again tonight, so make sure to catch it and be on the lookout for that red and green aura.
With the historic government shutdown coming to an end, flight delays and cancellations persist, but one North Texas pilot is doing his part to keep airways safe. Marvin Bell says he is adding 7 miles and about 7 minutes to his commute to stay out of Bravo airspace. Bell says he didn't want to bother and is already overwhelmed air traffic control and rerouted his flight instead of calling for clearance above the Dallas, Love Field, and DFW international airports, providing patients keeping the skies safe.
A mother in the Houston area is demanding justice after her young son, who has autism, was slammed to the ground by his teacher last month. This incident was captured on surveillance footage, and CNN's Okoro Manana has more on this mother's quest for justice. We want to warn you, this video may be disturbing to some viewers.
Surveillance video shows a teacher slamming the boy to the ground inside the school on October 30th. The 5-year-old's mother, Guadalupe Rodriguez, tells me her son has autism and is nonverbal.
This is trauma that my son and I will carry forever.
What went through your head when you saw that video?
Without being completely honest, I dropped to my knees and cried because I didn't expect to see that. I wasn't expecting to see my son be treated in such manner.
Rodriguez says her son came home limping on the day of the incident.
So I immediately knew something was wrong. I took him to the urgent care, and sure enough, he had a fracture and a sprained ankle.
She wanted answers, so the next day she went to Wild Peach Elementary demanding the principal open an investigation. That's when she saw the video and asked for more. Footage from less than an hour before shows the same teacher dropping Rodriguez's son, and another video afterward shows a different teacher kicking the boy's hurt ankle, trying to get him to walk.
My son was showing signs of distress, and not one teacher stopped to assess my son. Nobody cared.
Columbia Brazoria ISD tells KHOU 11 that the 2 teachers involved were fired.
Are you relieved that they've both been let go?
Well, part of me is relieved, but I'm not satisfied with the way they're handling this at all. Neither of them are behind bars. They're still walking free.
This letter from Wild Peach Elementary states that CBISD notified the Texas Education Agency about what happened and that the school district's police department reported the incident to the Brazoria County District Attorney's Office.
Guadalupe Rodriguez says her son has not returned to the school. She also says she's exploring all of her legal options.
A high-speed chase ended in a crash this morning in North Richland Hills. A 61-year-old driver was hospitalized as a result and is facing charges for DWI and evading arrest. The chase began after reports of a wrong-way driver shortly before 1:30 a.m. Police say the chase reached speeds over 100 miles per hour before crashing into a power pole, closing down roof snow in both directions. But officials say no other injuries were reported.
2 teens died over the weekend after their kayak overturned in the Trinity River in north central Texas. One of these boys' fathers is now missing and is following an attempt to rescue the boys. Here is CNN's Jason Miles with more.
The dangers of the Trinity River are more evident than ever for families of 2 teenagers who lost their lives here Sunday.
It is not safe. We have pulled numerous bodies out of that water for nonsense. Everybody, please stay out of the river.
Melissa Patterson and her family identified one of the young men as her nephew, 15-year-old Eric Lynn, seen here in a recent homecoming photo. They tell me he was a freshman at Cold Spring Oakhurst High School.
He had to grow up pretty quickly because of my medical problems, but he was always happy.
He was a good kid.
He woke up every day with a smile on his face after he grumbled because I was waking him up.
And he had a big heart for everybody. And especially his siblings, his dad, and his family.
Officials say Lynn and his friend were in the river when their kayak overturned. The friend's 53-year-old father entered the water to try and rescue them, but also went under. The two teens were later recovered.
As of yesterday, we are all tied in this together. We are all grieving the loss of 2 children and a loving father.
Right now, it appears no one was wearing a life vest or preserver when this tragedy struck on the Trinity, something emergency personnel always encourage.
I believe strongly that everybody has a number, and when it's your time, your time. But this was pushed. His number wasn't, he was too young.
Coming up, how new drilling operations are beginning in the coast of the U.S.
And more holds on SNAP benefits. Don't go away.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
President Trump is planning to allow new oil and gas drilling off California's coast. New drilling has not been allowed in these waters in over 40 years. California Governor Gavin Newsom has been a major critic of offshore drilling and has said that this plan would, quote, be dead on arrival as the state would challenge it in court. The Department of Interior could announce plans as soon as next week. However, some analysts say energy companies would not be very interested in expanding drilling off the coast of California.
The U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday sided with the Trump administration to allow it to continue to withhold fully funding SNAP payments this month. On Friday, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued an administrative statement that blocked a lower court blocked a lower court order that required the administration to provide full SNAP benefits. The Supreme Court's decision extends this stay until Thursday. If the Senate-approved deal continues through the government and ends the shutdown, any lawsuits tied to SNAP would become moot.
It is the end of an era for the penny because after 238 years, the United States is minting its last 1-cent coin. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump announced that he ordered the nation to stop making pennies altogether, saying each one costs nearly 4 cents to create. Despite the penny no longer being made, all of the other coins will remain in production for now. Additionally, the penny's production being halted is causing some problems for merchants and has increased the need for nickels, which are a more expensive coin to mint.
A class action lawsuit has been filed against AT&T following 2 data breach incidents in March and July in 2024. The data includes addresses, phone numbers, social security numbers, birth dates, passcodes, and billing numbers that were released on the dark web. According to the K-Roll settlement, administration customers who have been affected by both breaches are eligible to file a claim in the settlement. The deadline to file a claim is November 18th, 2025. The payout is expected to be up to $7,500 if the customer was affected by both breaches.
I really hope I get to see the Northern Lights sometime this week.
I wonder if they brought down some of that polar weather with them.
Well, let's check back in with Alex Martinez to see if we'll get some nice temperatures coming up for those beautiful lights. Alex?
All right, guys. Yeah, so the weather is kind of interesting. As you can see right here, it's going to be 70s across the board for today. 72, 71s, and all the way over here, Paris, Texas is going to be 69. A very lovely day over there for them. As we can see, many lovely days are going on across the DFW area. It's nice and chilly and nice and cool right now. Now, if we zoom out and we see the statewide map, that is when things get really interesting when it comes to weather and how it differs across our lovely state of Texas. 69 up in Amarillo and 67 up in Oklahoma City. Nice and chilly, and it's just a lovely days for those people up north. Now, on the opposite end of that is going to be all the way down here in Houston. As you can see here, it is 81. They are clinging on to that heat down there in Houston. Now, we might be seeing a similar situation for us up here. As we look into the upcoming week, it's going to be warming up. So sadly, alas, it is going to not be as cold as it has been for the past couple of weeks. It's going to be from 82s to 84s, 85s, and 80s. Of course, it's going to be hot during the day, but still relatively colder at night. So there could be still a chance of, if you miss Aurora Borealis, that there might be some later in the week, but it's unlikely. That's all for me for today. Right back at y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Alex. The shops at Willow Bend in Plano lost another store. The Dillard's clearance store closed its doors this week, marking the second major store loss for this once popular mall. However, despite these department store losses, developers are actually working on a plan to renovate the mall for the first time in several years.
Next up, Ken Paxton sues.
And the Mega Million gets even more mega.
What's up? Nothing much. I'm really bored. I feel like there's nothing to do. Are you kidding? The MRTS picture show is happening. The MRTS what? Come with me. Okay. It's a series of free film screenings right here on campus. And there's free popcorn. Nice. Thank you.
All right, look up here. 1, 2, 3.
Mom, Dad, I got it. You're right, Mom. I have.
Ken Paxton is suing Harris County.
That's right, and our segment anchor, Awa Fall, is here with all the details. Awa?
Thanks, you guys. From community wellness to political tension, Attorney General Paxton is suing Harris County for spending $1.3 million on immigrant legal aid, calling it unconstitutional. This new lawsuit against Harris County could really define who holds power, local leaders or the state. Cameron, back to you.
Thanks, Awa. Jack Schlossberg, the grandson of former President John F. Kennedy, is announcing a run for the U.S. House from New York City, becoming JFK's first direct descendant and latest member of his family to run for elected office. In a video announcing his campaign, Schlossberg says the country, quote, country is at a turning point, end quote. Schlossberg, 32, the youngest child of Caroline Kennedy, and her husband, Edwin Schlossberg, told CNN that he would pay homage to his grandfather, quote, organically, noting that the 35th president, quote, broke the mold, end quote. Schlossberg is running to replace the retiring Representative Jerry Nadler, who represents New York's 12th congressional district.
A new decision on a lawsuit filed against Gateway Church in Southlake by a supervisor of sexual assault. Cindy Klashmir sued the church, claiming elders downplayed her abuse of a child at the hands of former lead pastor Robert Morris. A Dallas County judge has allowed the defamation case to move forward despite the church claiming courts have no right to intervene in church matters. Clemenshire's attorney claimed that the former pastor's actions were secular and not religious in nature. Morris is currently incarcerated in Oklahoma, facing 9.5 years of probation and awaiting the settlement of 2 pending cases.
Now here's a story I'm excited about because the Mega Millions jackpot is nearing $1 billion. There were no tickets that matched all 6 numbers during Friday night's drawing, and that means that the $900 million prize is still up for grabs. The numbers drawn Tuesday night were 10, 13, 40, 42, 46, and Gold Mega Ball 1. The estimated jackpot for the next drawing on Friday, November 14th, still stands at $965 million. The last time someone won the jackpot was on June 27th, and if you got any of those numbers that I just said, I expect to share.
That is a lot of money. What would you do with all of that?
Me personally, I'm putting it all on the stars.
Well, let's see if that's a good bet with our segment, or with our sports segment with Elias Freeman.
Thanks, guys. When we come back, we'll talk Antonio Brown's plea, the Dallas Stars breaking their struggles in Ottawa, and the Mavericks management decisions. Stay with us.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DebtQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DebtQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DebtQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.debtq.org to learn more. DebtQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have 2 traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown has pled not guilty to second-degree attempted murder charges following a shooting that took place in May. Brown was arrested in Dubai and extradited to the states where his attorney filed his plea in Miami. Brown's attorney also issued a statement via the social media platform X on Brown's account saying, quote, "The actions he was forced to take were solely in self-defense against the alleged victim's violent behavior," end quote. Brown was in the league for 12 years, spending 9 of them with the Pittsburgh Steelers, before he scored a touchdown when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in 2021 and played his final game with the Buccaneers in 2022. The Dallas Stars are leaving Canada's capital 2 points richer for the first time since 2016 after their victory over the Ottawa Senators last night at the Canadian Tire Centre. The Stars have struggled at this arena, not being able to come out with a win for nearly 10 years. The Stars started off rocky and fell down 2-0 early on, but as is typical of the recent Dallas Stars, they fall down 2-0 and make a marvelous comeback. The Stars came back and tied the game, sending it to overtime before Rope Hintz scored the game-winning goal to break their loss streak in Ottawa. After being tested early on, the Stars' defense is on the come-up, and Miro Heiskanen has tallied 10 assists in his last 4 games. Heiskanen has also averaged 25 minutes and 33 seconds of ice time this season so far, making him a vital part of this year's Stars roster. It was announced yesterday that the Dallas Mavericks will be firing Nico Harrison effective immediately. This news comes following a team meeting with owner Patrick Dumont and Harrison on Tuesday morning, shortly after which the news broke that Harrison will be fired from his position as general manager. Mavericks fans have been calling for this move for months, with chants in support of firing Nico happening at the American Airlines Center regardless of sport since the blockbuster trade that sent Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. Dumont stated that this decision comes in light of their, quote, continued commitment to building a championship caliber organization, end quote. Former player Michael Finley is expected to resume operations in the meantime, along with Matt Riccardi.
Thanks so much, Elias. And to end this show, Landry, I've heard you've got a story with some swimmingly adorable characters.
And I do. A heartwarming reunion caught on camera for a sea otter pup reunited with his mother with the help of a marine mammal center in California. More with this story is CNN's Valentina Saldana.
What sounds similar to a baby's cry is actually the sea otter pup named Caterpillar vocalizing for its mom. The team at the Marine Mammal Center covers 600 miles of the California coastline, and when their hotline received a call about an otter pup that was seen near the shore along Embarcadero, they sent team members from the Morro Bay facility to the rescue. They took a small carrier, ice, rescue net, and a Bluetooth speaker, recording a 1-minute clip of the pup's cries to play on repeat in hopes the mother would hear it.
Vocalizations are very important for pairings of moms and pups. So in this situation, we were able to identify the potential mom because of those vocalizations.
Eventually, the team spotted an adult otter following their boat around the bay.
I would be on one side, she'd be on the other, and then we'd end up on the other side. And so that kept happening, and her persistence of following us and approaching the boat was a really key indicator.
And after 2 hours of searching, Marine Mammal Operations Coordinator Shayla Zink placed the pup in the water.
I definitely cried a little bit when she came up and got the pup. It was a super rewarding, top 5 day at work ever.
This was the first reunification in the area since 2019, and this southern sea otter reunion was important for more reason than one.
Southern sea otters are still a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act, and currently their population is kind of hovering at 3,000.
Senior Manager Alia Meza told me that because Morro Bay is secluded, the likelihood of finding an otter mom is likely higher than if a pup is stranded in the open ocean. In a case where the mother cannot be found, the organization might be able to send the pup to the Monterey Bay Aquarium for its surrogacy program with their captive adult female otters.
Teaching them how to forage and eat and act like otters appropriately in a way that humans just can't teach them.
Wow, that video made me so happy I oughter watch it again. Thank you for watching NTTV News at Noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.